Hello and welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. That's right, we're doing it once again on September 10th, 2025. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, mi familias, down south in the United States of Americas, beautiful Americas, further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guineas, New Zealand's, Venezuela's, over there in Zimbabwe, over there in the Congo, over in Nairobi, Jamaica, Wagbanban, over there in Korea, Uzbekistan, over there in Serbia, Siberia, Russia, Ukraine, Italy, all around the world. You know what it is. If you're just tuning in, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Just got a sip of this coffee right here. Lots of exciting events are unfolding right between our eyes, right between your eyes. Wrote a little poem that I'm wondering if I should share with you right now, or maybe I should share with you at the end. It's a bit. Maybe I'll share it at the end. We'll see. I might even write it in the description of the video for you to enjoy. I might not. I might change my mind at the end of the video and be like, you know what, forget it. But nonetheless, stay tuned. So let's get this party going. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to start with, let's just get right into it. I just want to say that I believe this is a topic that's on everybody's minds. Been listening, been paying attention, and just trying to read the room here. And I want to be the first. I want to be amongst the first. I want to be a spearhead, tip of the cock, as the old saying goes. Tip of the cock of this movement. What is the movement? Glad you asked. Thank you for joining me. It's slavery. Slavery, ladies and gentlemen. We did it wrong. I'm bringing this forward to you right now so that you know that you can hashtag this, timestamp it. Somebody splice it, somebody dice it. Slavery. Let's bring it back. I want to bring it back personally. I think we did it wrong. We've tried in the past, throughout history, we've tried it, but we did it wrong. And what's wrong with it? What was wrong with it? I believe it was the exclusivity of all, why do we need to go based on only a particular category of people should be slaves? Whether you had white slaves, or you had black slaves, or you had Asian slaves, or I say mix it. The problem with slavery is that everybody likes the free labor. The problem was the exclusion of other groups of people. I say we go it's all-inclusive slavery, all right? All-inclusive, so I want to bring it back, all right? You get a slave of your choosing, and everybody's out there, and everybody's available, all right? No more having to be like, oh, I can't do slavery because it's only one group of people. That's going to give a bad look. Exactly. There's the problem right there. One group of people. Or you had Jewish slaves way back in the Pharaoh times, in the Egyptian time. So again, these are all problems because it was concentrated, focused on one particular group of people at the times, depending on the time during history. I say we open it up. Everybody gets to be a slave if you'd like to, or you get to be a slave owner. I'd like to be a slave merchant. And I'm telling you right now, I will provide you with the best slaves. I've learned from the past. I've looked at people's mistakes. Again, we're not reinventing the whole wheel here, but we are taking a more inclusive approach. I'd like everybody to think of themselves as, yes, if you're like, can I be a slave? You can certainly be a slave. You can definitely be a slave. And I'm willing to sell you to anybody. I'm talking black. I'm talking white. I'm talking Asiatic. I'm talking, Hispanic. I'm talking European, Western European, Eastern European. I'm talking Eskimo. And I want to broaden up the whole horizon. I'm not just, and that's the thing. In the past, people used to be like, oh, I got to get a slave that's like sturdy and like nice and strong so he can go work the field or pull that heavy thing. I'm opening it up to literally everyone. No one is excluded from this slavery, all right? I want to specifically let you know that you're like, what about the handicapped? Can they be slaves? They are my best slaves. The handicapped are my best slaves, because that's the thing. The other ones, especially I'm talking mentally handicapped. If you can feed them just a minimal amount of food, just keep them sheltered to a minimal amount, and you can get them to do whatever you want. And they won't know the difference because they're mentally retarded. They won't know the difference. They don't know any better. They haven't experienced anything better. They'll never experience it. And that's the thing. You can ride these as long as you change the oil every 8 to 10,000 kilometers. As long as you make sure they have a proper place to go and get rid of their bodily fluids. after that, it's fair game for everybody. I'm bringing them in. And you can actually, we have great pricing. That's the thing. A lot of times, yeah, sure, you could get one sturdy, real like hefty, girthy, strong. You can get a strong slave, or you can get a whole bunch of retarded, handicapped slaves for the same price. I'll tell you what, you can get 3 handicapped slaves for the price of 1 real good, or fuck it, it's Wednesday, it's September, it's back to school, so I'm feeling generous. Should we do it, gang? 5 handicapped slaves for the price of 1 regular, normal, good, sturdy, solid. So 5, you get 5 handicapped slaves. All right, think about that. I'm talking mentally, I'm talking physically. Yeah, sure, they might not be able to do the task 100% the way you wanted it to be done. It'll be done eventually. Yeah, they might drool along the way a little bit. They might, shit their pants along the way a little bit. But I'm telling you, 5 of those bad boys and you can pretty much put your feet up on the coffee table, relax, let the kids be looked after by the mentally challenged slaves, and they don't mind as long as you throw them a smile every once in a while and a pat on the back. Oh man, it's gonna be great. Again, our prices are unbeatable. I'm willing to match prices. If anybody out there says they've got better slaves than I do, whether they think that they can beat the prices, whether they think they can get you some category of human being that's not available, I've got it all the colors, I've got it, all right? Because we're one race, and I'm like, you know what? Let's look, where did we go wrong? It's not like slavery didn't have its benefit. It's built empires throughout history. Multiple empires have been built upon slavery. So I'm bringing it back. Let's, we do need to think about the future, okay? They say the next frontier is space slavery, all right? Opening it up. Again, I want to be the first, established right here in 2025, credible, reliable. If there's anything wrong with your slave, simply ship them back, put them in a cart, right? Ship them back. We will send you replacement slaves. No other slave trader is willing to do that out there. They're like, once you bought the slave, now it's your slave. We will take, if you don't like them for whatever reason, okay? They might be working a little bit too slow, or sometimes they might be working a little bit too fast, okay? If you're not happy, send them. We're not gonna be the slave trade that's gonna ask questions like, why are you returning this slave? Send it back, doggy. Send it back. We will give you a new one, a brand new slave. All right? Male, female, young, old, crippled, blind, anything, hunchback. You want hunchbacks? Daddy's got it all right? Again, the mistakes of the past, do not learn from them. Let's not ruin a good thing forever. Let's learn from them. Learn, rinse, repeat, get rid of the mistakes. Mistakes what? Mistake was that we, again, concentrated on one group of people throughout history. And we went through this at any given time. We're like, this group of people. And again, that's the big mistake. You got to open up your eyes. Again, there could be others. You're like, why are you sharing this? Other people could hear your business model and go out there and think that they can become a slave trader. I dare you, try to become a slave trader. Try to compete. We're the first, all right? Motherfuckers know out there who sells the best slaves. Motherfuckers know that a name, when we say So Productions, when we say this is another Glad You Made It episode, we drop that shit and we stand on that shit. So you think our slaves are gonna be inferior to some fucking knockoff out there who thinks that they can just get up and start doing slave trade? We've been at it. So we will continue to bring forward slavery. And again, I don't want you to think that, oh my God, I don't have any options. You have all the options. I know initially sometimes that might seem like a little bit overwhelming. You're like, well, with all the options, what do I do? Do I get a black slave? Do I get a white slave? Do I get a Chinese slave? Do I get a European slave? Which you can get them all. You can collect them all. Think of them as Pokemons. Think of them as Labubus. Think about better, way better. With a little bit of food, a little bit of shelter, and a little bit of the old carrots and sticks, you can make these slaves work for you. So please build your personal empire today. Leave a message, leave a comment if you'd like to be one of the first people who are getting in on the new era of slavery if you like. We will provide it for you. If you want to just leave a comment if you like. Otherwise, then I guess you're going to be looking back. Don't wait around and be like, oh, I wish I would have gotten me a slave. This is going to be the thing that you wish. It's going to be the next Bitcoin. It's going to be the next Bitcoin. You're going to kick yourself 5 years. Just buy it and just leave them outside. Leave them outside. They don't care. They're slaves. They don't care. Gradually, it'll pay for itself. You mark my words, all right? So get as many as you can. And again, it's opened up to everybody. Slavery, but all inclusive, all right? So no more of that, oh, let's just single out people and bring in the race factor. It's one race of human slaves. And that is, again, we're opening it up to everyone. You could either be one, or if you like to, by the way, if you like to be one, you could also leave a comment if you think you got what it takes. And pretty much, you're like, what does it take? Anything. If you bring anything to the table, we will take you. We will take you and sell you, all right? For a good price, solid price. Make a family happy out there. Get yourself a slave today. You're welcome, everybody. Let me get a sip of this bad boy right here because it is Wednesday. The year is 1666 or 1666, which is weird in terms of numbers sometimes. When you get the 3 6s, you're like, what is that? And that is a good question. But the year is 1666. What's significant about it? Nothing except people were living their lives without any gravity. No gravity was on Earth until 1666, or that's 1666. What's up with that number? Some might ask. And I'm glad you asked. Up until then, we didn't have gravity. Well, what happened in 1666 or 1666? Isaac Newton happened in 1666 or 1666. All right. Isaac Newton was visiting his mother at his mother's home, and his mother had great tits. A lot of people focus on the whole gravity bit and forget the whole, they just like to skip the whole, let's just skip right to the gravity. His mother, great rack, all right? Back in the great rack, all right? Juicy, milky titties, all right? He goes to visit mom's, and he's like, Mom's sweet tits. I'm just gonna go like check out the yard and whatnot. Look at this tree, Mom, sweet tits. He did one of these to his mom. He's like, nice milky tits. Moms, I'm gonna go out there and just check out the backyard for a second. He goes to check out the backyard for a second. He's Isaac Newton. All right, and the year is what? 1666 or 1666 or 1666. All right, sees a tree, sees apples falling from this tree like it was just left, right, and center. And he's like, that's fucking odd. That's weird. Where is this tree just getting rid of its apples like it's unwanted slaves? And I was just dispensing this apple tree, was dispensing apples like an apple vending machine dispenses apples in Japan. It's weird. He saw it. He says it's weird. I'm just gonna go to, maybe I'll lean up against it, all right? And just maybe I'll sit down and think about why these apples are falling down. And as this tree kept on, it was as if it was raining, but apples from this tree, just fucking, everywhere. Sat under the tree, got hit in the head with an apple, immediately got up and said gravity. That's it, right there. One knock to the head with an apple, a single knock to the head via apple, and from then on, prior to 1666, no gravity or no G. After 1666, lots of G, LG, or LOG, or mostly G, MG. You know what it is. We got it. He just got up immediately. As soon as the apple hit him, just got up like a fucking zombie. He got up like the Undertaker got up after being knocked down. He got up and he said gravity. And that's it. We figured it right then and there with one apple to the head. And the moral of the story, like, why are you sharing this? Rob, why are you sharing this? Thank you for asking. So thoughtful with your questions. I figured if he had an apple to the head and he came up with gravity, think of what you can come up with a couple of blows to the head. So what I'm advocating here today, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to get out there and get knocked in the head a few times with different, and again, think about it, a little tiny apple, it doesn't weigh much, does not weigh much, but he got up immediately after being hit in the head with an apple. Just one knock, he got up, he's like, gravity, oh shit, gravity, there it is, gravity right there, dude. Just minding his own business, being proud of his mom's titties, all right? Just a sweet boy, proud son, gets up, sits down, gets hit in the head, gets up, back again, what? Gravity, right there, dude. One knock to the head. So think about all the inventions, all the mysteries of the world that can be unraveled by you getting hit in the head. So please, sit under an apple tree. But again, if he invented or came up with or figured out gravity in 1666 with one apple, think about what you could discover with heavier objects. What I recommend is for you to sit down anywhere, real or stand up. I don't give a fuck. You could do whatevs, dude. You could float for all I care, all right? As long as you take a blow to the head, a nice hefty blow. I'm gonna go ahead and deduce and say the heavier the object, the bigger the revelation, the bigger the invention, the bigger the solved mystery. So please, start off with a couple of apples. Again, I'm not sure if anybody's tried it out, but I know I'm going to go and try it out today after this podcast. I'm going to just sit under a tree and get hit in the head with a couple of apples, see if it works. If not, I'm willing to go heavier, all right? I'm talking cell phones, a sharp cell phone, just with the edge, with the corner, just right there in the temple. And then maybe I'll come up with something that's like, oh, this is going to really move humanity. But I don't want this to just be for me. All right, I want you to experience it too. So please go stand under a building. Tell a friend to take an old, I don't know, couple of just bricks, loose bricks. You can find them anywhere. Imagine, again, he came up with what? Gravity. Via what? Apple to the head. Think of what a brick will do. And an apple tree, the apple does not fall far from the tree. If you're sitting under a skyscraper and somebody drops a brick on your head, that brick has traveled a way longer distance than the apple. Think about all the accumulated information that's grabbing and just trying to ram it into your head. So take a brick to the temple today, please. Come up with new methods of, get the salt out of the water. Desalinate, will ya? Come up with a way to really get into outer space, like really fucking get out there. You know what I'm talking about? Let's people a couple of, the moon, the Mars, or the stars. Let's do it together, but get in the head is the point. Take an anvil, get your lover, get your husband, get your wife, go stand somewhere. Have them drop the anvil on your head. Think about all the answers that'll just come rushing in. Because again, when we have precedence, we have proof. That proof is in the pudding. Gravity via apple. You can do a lot more with heavier objects. I'm willing to bet all my slaves and say if you get hit in the head with an elephant, take an elephant to the temple. If somebody drops an elephant, I believe you will be you might just be the next Nikola Tesla. You might just be and you got all the information in there. What's keeping it? You just need a little key to unlock all the mysteries within you. So take a heavy, hefty blow to the head and let us share what we've got together and move forward in humanity's next era and next chapter by taking blows to the head. Learn from Isaac Newton in 1666 or 1666 or 1666. Learn from the man. All right, so take a heavy blow to the head. Get a hammer. Get a hammer if you're like, I don't have access to heights and things dropping on me. Get a hammer and just hit yourself a couple of times over the head. All right, give yourself some time. Get up immediately after you've taken the hit to the head. Just start saying something, because he didn't know. He got up after immediately getting hit in the head, said gravity. What? Prior to that, nothing worth of value. One apple to the head, he gets up, gravity. Grab it right there, gravity. All right, so unlock the mysteries within you with a blow to the head. That should be the moral of that story right there, ladies and gents. Oftentimes people sit down and take a shit, urinate, get rid of blood in their vagina. And a lot of times people like me, people like you might have said something along the lines of, I wish somebody captured that moment. I wish there was, oh, this is beautiful, this is fantastic. The joy it brings me to relieve myself. I wish there was a way to capture it and share it with people. But you sit there and you think it over and you're like, God, I can only wish, and there's no way to capture this image and let others enjoy what I'm enjoying. People getting in their feelings, people for years roaming around the world, unable to cope with the fact that they've not been able to capture this moment, this beautiful moment of what is being released from between their legs. Until now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to the world taint cameras, or taint cams. That's right, get taint cams today. We install taint cameras right on your taint, whether you're male or female, all right? You go to the bathroom next time, you sit down and you just take a huge shit. I'm talking a hefty, I'm talking a loaf, I'm talking a brick, I'm talking a little, is that a child that just came up? What is that? Oh, the blood, the urine, the shit, all right, the fecal matter that is inside you. And you capture that via that taint cam. Now what do you have? Gone are the days, ladies and gentlemen, where people used to cry in silence and say, Lord, my God, is there any way I could capture this instance and share with other people? If there was only a way, God, why isn't there a way? There is a way, fella, there is a way. Lady, you don't need to worry. There is now taint cams. You can take that image, record a video via taint cam, send it to anybody you love, put it up on the internet, share it with millions and millions of people. Bring joy to yourself and others by simply getting a taint cam today. Gone are the days where people used to think of the events that occurred between other people's legs and just thought about the mystery, the possibilities, the colors, the odors, the viewership, the sponsorships, the labels, the brand sponsors, the fandom. All that could be yours with simply getting yourself a taint cam. And again, you're like, what if I want to just play it low key? What if I just want to share with family and friends? You can share with anybody you want. The video has been captured. Why? Because we went and asked if we want to capture videos of people urinating, people taking shits. What could we do? The answer was right between our legs. We go to the taint, we go to the source. So we will place the cameras, we'll install it for you. Now it's up to you who you'd like to share with. It could be your brother, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your third cousin removed from your mother's side, twice divorced, once adopted. It could be that guy, all right? It could be anybody. It could be your teacher, it could be your university professor. I do hear some noises in the background. Let us enjoy that for a second. What is that noise? It could be the revving of engines, of multiple people waiting outside, revving engines, die-hard fans, revving those engines, just arriving to catch a glimpse of the show live. But I say you've come to the wrong side, fam. Try the other side, and you can always catch these videos online. But it could be somebody mowing the grass in the hallway. That's right, you don't know our hallways. Our Canadian hallways might have grass. What are you all of a sudden the fucking expert on everybody's hallways around the world? It could be a little train going through my hallway right now. It could be a little tiny train. You don't know that. It could be a train filled with fans and slaves. That's right, you don't know that. You're like, I don't hear any screaming. We keep them quiet. We keep them quiet, so to enjoy the sound of the locomotive, thank you very much. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, so please get yourself a taint cam today. What else is going on? I believe while I'm on the path of just sharing and giving and caring, I like to give back in another way as well. I like to say to all of you out there who have lost your keys, who have lost your wallets, also say goodbye to those days, because long gone are the days where you come home frustrated, having forgotten your wallet somewhere. Now you got to go through a painful task of replacing all your cards, bank cards, IDs, library cards, little book club cards, cards for your sex club membership, that card. And that was not easy to get once you've gone on. Once you've got one, it's not easy to get a second. They don't want you to come back for a second, because you know how those places could be. It's embarrassing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost my wallet and I've lost my sex club membership card. Could I renew? And they'll look at you and they'll judge you. How many times must you feel judged at your local sex club for wanting to go back there and get another membership card? It's humiliating. It sucks for you. You're losing respect in the sex club community. Each day moves forward with people just what is that? Murmurs, rumors, and did you hear John lost his membership club card at the sex club? Oh, how embarrassing. I wonder what kind of father he is. Probably not a good one, some might say, while getting a nice steam in the sauna. Working a little schwitz right there. Working a little sweat right there. Judging you for having lost your sex club membership card. Could happen to anybody, the best of us. The best of us. What about that time you lost your key and were unable to get inside your home? Family members thought you left them. Days, weeks, months, you were just standing outside. They can't hear you. And you've got no key to access your home. They've started to gather a new applicant so that people could come and join them as the new family member and replace you. They've got another, you're a wife, you're a beautiful wife. At least you used to be. Until your husband and children start getting extremely lonesome because you lost your keys. Well, say goodbye to those days. Long gone are the days of torn apart families because of lost keys and lost wallets. I like to recommend you go for the genital chain wallets and keychain. Ladies and gentlemen, simply grab our specialized keychain that attaches with a hook to your cock or your vagina, and simply drag your keys and your wallets and hook it to the opposite end of that chain, and you can have it anywhere you want, and you'll never ever again lose your key or your wallet. Think about this. I know I've noticed this. Wallets have been getting thinner, as have phones, which is scary, until they're so thin that they're not even there. People have been talking, I've been hearing, and they're like, we want fat wallets back, bring it back. But unfortunately, thin wallets want to make it seem like it's a faux pas to have a fat wallet. They judge people nowadays. I've seen people getting ridiculed on the subway, on the streets, young kids pointing at adults with fat wallets. Adults pointing at kids with fat wallets, simultaneously laughing at each other, saying, you fucking geezer, you fossil with your fat wallet. They'll say that, banishing them from the tribe, banishing them from the city, banishing them from the county, from the state, from the country, from the continent, from land, move them underwater. Why? Because of fat wallets, fat wallet phobia. That's what's going on. But because our chain wallets allow you to attach your wallet and your keys to your genitals, no longer will you be burdened with the fact of, I'm going to have to carry this in my pocket. No, my friend. Simply grab the chain, attach it to your genitals, let that fat wallet hang between your legs. In case of an emergency where you're getting robbed by a group of hooligans, grab that chain, and for a little bit of extra money, for $15, we can extend your chain to be 2-3 feet long, 6 feet even if need be. Beat those hooligans with your chain wallet that's attached to your genitals, and never ever risk losing cash, bank cards, ID cards, cute little pictures of your family. So many cute pictures of your family have been lost due to carelessness, due to a lack of genital chain wallets. But that all ends today with us. So get it today. We will install it for you. Our professional group of trained individuals will come and they'll spit on your genitals and they'll just pierce it right. It takes less than 10 seconds. You're like, what if it gets an infection? That's our promise to you. Infections are on us. You will get infected. It will bleed. It will hurt initially. Sure, it might even turn into something that's a little bit overwhelming at times. You might even need to get your genitals removed. I'll tell you that right here, so that there are no lawsuits down the line. But for the majority of people it works. Should you be one of the individuals that has to go and get their genitals replaced or removed entirely, I say call customer service, all right? Call customer service and ask about the positive reviews left behind by billions of people. And now ask yourself, who's the problem? Who's the problem? You're welcome. Again, that's genital chain wallets and keychains for the entire population of Earth. What else is going on in and around the world? Let's get into a little bit of global events. What is going on in and around the world? I believe a superstar named David. David is a singer, songwriter, entertainer. I believe he's 20 years old. He's sold millions and billions of records or songs at least, or he's successful. He's well known. David spelled D4, D, the letter D, number 4. That's how it's spelled. D4VD, as we spell David. David. He's a songwriter, or he's a singer, or he's a rapper. I don't know if he's a rapper or a singer or a country music. It doesn't matter. Musician, successful, young, successful. All right, millions of monies coming in, records going out. As the music industry. That's the way she blows, all right? Records going in, out, money coming in. Money being made, records being scratched. Wick right there. Money, cash money right there. Digital currency right there. Gold bullions right there. Blood diamonds right there. Records out, blood diamonds in. Money, good, solid musician, all right? Young as well. And recently, I believe he's got a little issue that's come up for. Somebody found his Tesla, I believe somewhere in LA, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere near Hollywood, somewhere near LA, somewhere in California. They found his Tesla, a Tesla that was registered under David's name with a decomposing body in the car. And I don't know David. I don't know what has happened with the decomposing body in the Tesla, but we can take this moment to deduce a certain number of scenarios, and together we could come up with an answer potentially. If you know anything about the decomposing body in the Tesla that belongs to David, feel free to leave a comment. If you are the decomposing body in David's Tesla, feel free to also leave a comment. How could something like this have happened? I don't know David, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, the most benefit of the doubt, because he's a young man and I don't know him. So I'm going to assume that this is some sort of trickery, that this is some sort of hijinks, that this is some sort of, somebody's trying to sabotage this young man's career. Somebody's trying to, I'm going to say somebody killed somebody else, completely unrelated to David, all right? David he's rich and young, and he's making records and money. He's busy. He's probably got multiple cars. How is he supposed to know how many cars he's got? It's extremely difficult once you have more than one, really. After one, it becomes like, all right, I got one with me here in the garage. The other ones I assume are somewhere within the vicinity, but really, who knows? Maybe the slaves took him out for a little joyride. God knows who's behind the wheel. Next thing you know, somebody's like, let's take this car that belongs to, let's take one of David's cars. All right, David spelled D4VD, that David. All right, let's take one of his, and let's just go kill somebody and chuck the body in the back of the car and just leave it somewhere. And let's just cause a little bit of chaos and trouble for this young man who's starting his life and journey into being a star. And there you have it, some bad apples, some bad actors, some bad agents, some vile people filled with hatred. Wanted to say, you know what, we're going to see something beautiful and we're going to tear it down. And that's what they did. They killed somebody, dumped the body in the Tesla, left it in some parking lot and said, you know what, let him take the blame. Take the blame, David. They said that by themselves or to themselves, and then walked away or ran off or got in like a little moped and just like slowly but surely, just 20, 30K an hour. Is it with 40 miles an hour, whatever the speed limit is in that area, and they got away. That could be it. That could be, or maybe David just parked his car somewhere. Maybe a person decided to take the time and off himself or herself. I don't even know if it's a male body or a female body. They saw the Tesla. Maybe they didn't like Teslas for some odd reason. All right. And they're like, you know what a great way to die, to go and die in this Tesla and ruin and try to be some bad marketing for Tesla. And all of a sudden, in the rumor mill, the grapevine, people start chit-chatting amongst themselves. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, if you get in the Tesla, you're going to die. And look at this car with the stench of the dead body coming out of the Tesla. And that'll be the whole narrative for the next 6 months. Next thing you know, Tesla's taking a hit. Why are you hating on Tesla? It could just be a Tesla hater, you son of a bitch, trying to make a stench come out of the trunk of a Tesla so that people will think that all Teslas drive people to madness and essentially their death. Well, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So these are some of the ways which we could explain the dead body in the trunk. I don't know, David. Again, I'm giving extremely, charitable point of view because I don't know the young man. I don't think he would kill. But then again, he also might have. But we got to look at it from the other perspective. He might have killed somebody and put that man inside the Tesla and parked it somewhere and said, let it rot in the sun as I sell my millions of records and grab my cash. No. And he laughed. And he thought he'd get away with it. But nobody gets away with it. But I don't think it's David. I honestly don't. I say use it. Use this opportunity, David. I don't know much about anything, but it is a good headline. You drop a record right now is the time to drop it. If you've not killed this man, drop the record right now. Bring him on. Tour with the dead, decomposing body. Bring the Tesla along. Make it a thing. Every third concert, give away a Tesla with a decomposing body. And those could be those could be some of your hardcore fans who will be your ride or dies from now till you're 95 or 100,000 years old. By then, you'll probably be living forever, David, spelt D4VD. So give away a decomposing body if you've not killed this man, and you could make it a thing. Make t-shirts with a dead guy just hanging off a Tesla while it's getting charged, and that could be that. Then again, drop 10 bangers, give away a dead guy, decomposing dead guy every 10 songs, every couple of years, and then maybe add another decomposing body the next time you drop another album. Who knows? But I'm just saying, utilize it. There's no such thing as bad press. No opportunities should go to waste, is what they say, or is what we say. Together we'll say it. We just said it right now. You've said it. We'll say it again. So unless you've killed him, and then that's a whole other. I don't think he did. He's young, talented. Why would he? All right. So there you have it, ladies and gents. What else is going on? 23-year-old Maya O'Brien completely, has gone off this one is, she decided to take a little trip. Maya O'Brien, 23-year-old law student, British law student from the UK, decided to take a trip to Dubai. Dubai or not to buy? That is the question. Dubai or don't buy? That is the question when it comes to making purchases. Do tell. 23-year-old Maya O'Brien went to Dubai to have herself a good time before she gets back and really starts hammering the gavel to the clit, as law students do. That's how they get their start. Just gavel, gavel, gavel. Click, click, click right there until you get the bar and you raise the roof, or you raise the bar and you pass the bar and you pass it and somebody catches it, somebody releases the bar. Bar is loose bar. What do we do with this loose bar? Open it up to the public, bring in a little bit of cash flow, get the mafia involved. Now you got a little shell company. It's a bar. Is it a bar? Is it a money laundering front for the mafia? We're laundering money. We're washing cash. We're money laundering. We're working with the mafia. We've got a bar. We're doing law. Gavel to the clit. Full circle. Before she does all that, okay? Beautiful 23-year-old goes to Dubai to party a little bit, okay? A little bit, you know, a little bit Aladdin style party, a little bit of Middle Eastern dust, a little bit of Middle Eastern sand, a little bit of Middle Eastern hookah, a little bit of shisha, a little bit of gold bullion, a little bit of camel riding, if you know what I mean. Double humpbacks, thank you. All right. She went there. She decided, she decided to be a young woman, a young lady, do a little partying, and the authorities caught her with apparently 50 grams of cocaine, or cocaine, as some would say, and now she's getting 25 years in life. 25 years in life. I believe the 50 grams of cocaine is not much. It's just for, I believe it's just probably, I've never done cocaine. I don't know much about cocaine, but I think that's just for personal use. Roughly worth $2,500 or 2,500 UK dollars. I think those are pounds, $25 pounds. So it's not much. It's just like, it's not nothing, but it's not, it's not fucking El Chapo cocaine. It's just a little bit. But she's getting 25 years in life. And to that, this should just be what do we do? She went there. The laws are a little bit, it's different everywhere. If you go in certain places, it's not, they're not so loosey-goosey, or even, it's full-blown probably prohibition. You're probably not allowed to do a lot of drugs and alcohol in the Middle East. If I were to just take a wild guess, I'm just going to go ahead and just go out on the limb here and just say you're probably not allowed to do a lot of experimenting with drugs and substances, all right? Loosely using that term, drugs, just substances in general. You're probably not allowed. Not allowed. You're allowed to do a lot of stuff, but certain things you're not allowed, all right? And now she's gotten 25 years in life. She's 23 years old. By the time she comes out, if she starts hitting the gavel to the clit, then she's going to be close to, she'll be old, and because she still do the whole gavel and clit thing, pass the bar, receive the bar, give the bar, take the bar, give the bar. Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't, but let this be what do we do? What do we do? I'm torn on this one. On the one hand, I say, initially, I would like to say, let's free hashtag Maya O'Brien, if we could get a movement going on. I'm pretty sure her parents are probably worried sick. It's another country. You're dealing with another country. You're dealing with a young person in another country, different rules. Could we work something out with government to government, people to people, law to law? Can we work something out? Maybe I'm just gonna toss ideas out. I want to see her freed, but if it doesn't work, maybe you gotta make an example. You gotta take a tit, take one tit, take one of her tits, free the rest of her. Take one of her tits. Not the worst idea to take a tit. I'm not quite sure if it's Dubai. I have heard in some in some countries, they'll chop off your hand if you steal. I've heard about that. Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. But other people do other things. It's not to just, and sometimes we say, bring back the death penalty. And for some, heavy, hardcore crimes, I say yes, absolutely. Child molesters, rapists, bring the death penalty. I don't care. Bring it back. Why are we wasting energy and resources on, waste? It's a waste. So certain things, not, stealing and losing a hand, I'm not totally down with that one. But again, different countries, different rules. You're not allowed to do drugs, experiment with substances. They caught her. It's not much. Take a tit for, I'm just saying, take an ovary, take an egg. What about an egg? What if she released like a year's worth of eggs? Take 12 eggs, release her, take 12 eggs, 24 eggs. Pushed me. Your Honor, I'm saying 36 eggs, okay? You'll take 36 of her eggs. Release her, all right? What about, could we do something? What if she were to donate her pubic hair? What if she were to donate her entire bush? She'll give the entire bush. Release her today. Let bygones be bygones. Let water be in the camel's uterus, and let's just put this fallopian tube behind us. You know what I'm talking about? Let's just smoke a couple of shishas, wield around a couple of swords and do a little bit of communal circumcision and just wrap this story up together and say, you know what, let's bring Maya back. Okay, 25 years, just too much. It's too much for 25, again, this is coming from, I sit comfortably in a place where we don't have those laws and regulations. Of course, cocaine is still illegal in Canada, but again, I would hope to see one day that we globally make some movements and just decriminalize all drugs and manufacture them in safe environments. I'm not condoning the usage of anything. I'm just saying it doesn't really help to put a young woman behind bars in a foreign country, unless they're gonna be making like prison porn. But then, you know, like I would like people to be consenting in their prison porns. If they're, you know, like it's a setting, it's a whole vibe. Look at these lesbians. It's crazy how they're locked up in prison. Next thing you know, it's, you know, Clit City and it's dykes just doing bukakis for like 3-4 hours. And then it's lunchtime. We break for lunch, come back after an hour once everybody's rehydrated, and it's bukkake for another 3 hours. But release her, take a couple of eggs, take a couple of pubes. Let's just put this behind us. This isn't, you know, because it's not good. It's not a good look. Internationally, it's not a good look. But also let this be, again, if you're a young person or an older person, a person with a little bit more maturity, a little bit more life experience, you know, and I say this to myself as well. I've definitely, you know, made mistakes when I was younger. And I've gotten lucky. So I'm just saying, as we all do, who has not made mistakes when they're a little bit younger, or even a little bit also. I'll fucking make a mistake right now. I will make a mistake right now. Today I'll make a fucking mistake if I need to. So let people make mistakes. Let them, or just experience life. It's not even a mistake, because if it was somewhere else, it could have been zero repercussions. She could have been, you know, she could have been living life if she chose another destination. But again, be careful if you're visiting different countries out there. But also, again, I believe we can find a resolution together. So again, hashtag take a tit, free the rest. Hashtag free the tit. Take the pubes, leave the rest. Let me get a sip of this bad boy. What else is going on? Sweden, my beautiful Swedes, my dear, dear Swedes, my Scandinavian cousins from seemingly other mothers, alleged different mothers, so they say. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the Swedens have, you know, this one caught my attention because I've never been to Sweden, but apparently they're having a surge in a little bit of crime syndicate action, a little bit of gang activity's been popping up in the past 10-15 years. And what's cool about this, or what's different about this one, is that they're going out there and they're hiring teenage girls as hit women. That's right, hit women who are teenage girls, like 15 and under. Apparently they make prime candidates for becoming hit women, and Sweden's apparently just rife with these young gals. And that's a whole thing. So it just got my attention. I'm like, why would you use a weak teenage girl? And then I'm like, fuck, of course you're supposed to be using weak teenage girls like that, because that's, first of all, they're underage, which makes it probably easier to, you know, if they're going to be getting caught or whatever, probably, you know, it's probably still going to ruin their lives, but to a lesser degree. First of all, they'll have more time, you know, they can, if you're hiring somebody way older, like in their 20s or 30s or 40s, they get caught and they got to do time. By the time they come out, that's a life that's over. If you're 14, 15, you get caught 20, 25 years, it sucks. It absolutely does suck. You might even get life. Let's not play around. You might even get life. But should you come out in like 20 years, you still got a good chunk of life left. But so that's probably one reason they're utilizing them. Second reason they're probably utilizing is, makes perfect sense again, because it's like, up until now, up until very recently, it's always been like, yes, of course, you know, young adolescent youth boys, watch out for the males, of course. But that's the thing, you watch out for the males, you let the young teenage girls do the dirty work. That's because nobody would suspect. If you just see a young teenage girl, you'd think nothing of it. You'd think absolutely nothing of it. Harmless, innocent, young teenage girl. Next thing you know, it's fucking, right there, dude. So teenager turns into some sort of killer assassin and just walks away with a lollipop, a swirly lollipop, and nobody Nobody questioned, oh, why is this little girl walking by the crime scene? I wonder who has murdered all these gangsters. Definitely not the girl with the lollipops, because she's underage and she's a teenager. But guess what? You're dead wrong. She's an assassin. So moral of that story is we got to do something. We got to do something because our young boys, as much as I'm all for, you know, empowering women and getting women opportunities and spaces. This is something that we let's not leave our young men behind as well. Let us, because yeah, you start supporting the females and you start ignoring the males, and next thing you know, there's going to be a deficit in young male hitmen, and who can grow up to be really good adult male hitmans. And it'd be a shame. It'd be just like every other field of work out there where we focus for too long. And again, because this is just it goes back and forth. And rightly so. We dismiss the ladies. We're like, they can't be killers. For a long time, we said that ladies can't be killers. It's a man's world. It's a man's business. You know, cock and balls to be doing the killing. Well, guess what? We're gonna bring him in now, labia and all, and then say, you know what? Let's bring in more ladies. And guess what? Soon we're gonna start neglecting all the males, whether underage or overage, neglect. And the next thing you know what? This beautiful hitman is out there on the streets, on his knees, sucking cock. Why? Because there are no jobs out there, because now he's competing with the female counterparts who are much prettier, who smell nicer, who are ovulating, obviously. And what's he got? A killer boner in the mornings and a nice dry clean suit with a whole lot of machine guns, but no assignments, and the phone isn't ringing. He falls into depression, starts heavily drinking, stops working out, starts smoking crack. All of a sudden he's lost his family, and his wife has engaged in sexual relations with a female assassin who's got the jobs, she's got job after job after job. All right, so let's just take this moment and say, hey, it's great to make opportunities for everybody, but let us not neglect one group of individuals just because we want to help out another. If we are making job opportunities available to the young ladies, I say, please do not forget the young men and overall above age men as well. Men and women, we should be working together, okay? There's plenty of people to take out and plenty of hitmen and hitwomen jobs out there. Do not simply neglect a whole portion of half the population, really, just because you're like, oh, this is much easier to deal with females. So there's that right there. All right, ladies and gents, please hire both males and females if you could. This one is it doesn't bring me any joy, of course. This one happened recently and in the past few days. I believe there's a woman, 23-year-old Irina Zaratutska, rest in peace. I forget her last name, some along those lines. Is 23-year-old Irina, I remember the first name, because one of the first crushes that I had, her name was Irina, and we were just, we would fucking, just fucking being kids. I wonder where she is now. Not really, but it just, I read it and I'm like, fucking, who remembers? Doesn't matter. The point is, this beautiful 23-year-old was just riding a train or a public transportation system in North Carolina, sitting down, minding her own business. Yeah, I believe she was a Ukrainian refugee who fled the war, the war-torn region of Ukraine and Russia. She fled the war. She's a refugee. She's like, let me come to America and get safety, where I can thrive and live and be happy and have an opportunity at a better life. She's minding her own business one day after coming from home or from work somewhere. It doesn't matter. She sat on the train or the bus. I actually don't know the details. And behind her was a murderer, but she didn't know that. She sat down, minding her own business. Next thing you know, it's Stab City. It's fucking right there. And I didn't even see the stabbing part because the videos that I saw were just a couple of them and they didn't show the stabbing. But allegedly, she did get stabbed. There's no alleged. She got stabbed, but because I have not seen it, but she did get stabbed. She definitely got stabbed. She's killed. She's dead. Just want to clear that up. She's dead. Are you happy? She's dead. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself and you say things and oh no, she's dead. She's dead. All right. This person killed her. Apparently he was and that's the thing. And I saw this a couple of times, and then it started to pop up everywhere, and then people were in the headlines and the different news reports were saying, the big media isn't reporting on this murder, and I'm like, why wouldn't big media report on this murder? And then some people were like, oh, because it was a black guy who killed her. That's why the media is not going to report on her. But then all the media started reporting. So all I saw was for a couple of days, even up until today. I might even go back later on. It's still, not that I'm doing it on purpose, it's just right there. It's right there. It's news. It's popping up right there. People say, nobody's talking about this whilst everybody's talking about this. And apparently this guy is, he's loco. He's had trouble all his, not a good guy. He's had his run-ins with the law. He's been I don't know the details. Not a good guy. I didn't look too much into it, to be honest with you. A criminal, essentially, a loose criminal. Mentally, probably not the best. Physically able, but mentally not there. And yeah, he's a criminal. But he was out loose on the streets, and he was roaming around. And he decided to pick this lady up and make her the target that day. And that's it. Stabbed, killed, and yeah. I just want to say that this absolutely does suck. And yeah, the notion of should we talk about this or should we not talk about it because the murderer was black and the victim was white. I think, overall crime isn't good. It sucks. It sucks that any time a person loses their life is not good. Whether it's a black person killing a white person or a white person killing a black person, it's just all of it is not good. More of these stories, I don't know if they'll do any good to focus in on. I think this is the thing. I think we should never have moments where we just pick and select, because there's so many, vast majority of people, by the way, are wonderful people, but these stories are not newsworthy stories. Most people 99% of people are getting, even more than that, probably 99.9, because you experience on a daily basis. Most people get along, they're nice, do their little things, and sure, sometimes things happen, but most people try to do their best and live good lives and be good citizens and be good neighbors and be nice to each other and themselves. Well, those stories are not, newsworthy, they're not divisive, but stories of, again, incidents of a black person getting killed by a white person, that gets a story. A white person getting killed by a black person, that might get a story. Stories like this, it makes the headlines, but I wonder what it does if it's good or if it's not good. And not to say that these things don't happen, but I just wonder this pitting people against each other depending on race and highlighting the fact that, oh, okay, look at this, it's a black male who killed an innocent white angel, or look at these white devils killing the innocent black man. Once again, it's stories like this. I don't know what it does other than, for me, I do see it like locally, globally. I don't think the news agencies really care about you and I. I don't think they do. I don't think they care. I don't think governments in particular, I don't think humans, I don't think governments really care about humans. That's not their priorities. They'll say that. They'll get in the offices and do the whole politics thing, but I don't think it's vast majority of people probably get into politics for money and power. Probably, most people. Having said that, stories like this, I see times like this, and again, it's mimicking or resembling of other times in the past. I'd hate to see us going towards a local and or maybe / global helter skelter state of mind where people are at odds with each other depending on race, ethnicity, or religion or sex or whatever, even climate if you want to throw that one in there, whatever, the beliefs that could be used to, divide. I'd hate to see that because it's easy to give into narratives. It's easy to say, look at, because people will say stuff like this. People will say it's so interesting to see the human psyche come out very quickly based on, certain incidents that occur, and we are quick to go back to our primal instincts of labeling other people. Again, I'm not condoning any of it. Of course not. It's horrible. Whether it's a black person killing a white person or a white person killing a black person. Which one did I say for the black person killing the white person or white person killing the black person? None of it is good. No, none of it is good. None of it is good. And it's not good to, focus in on these things and make it purely about race and or ethnicity and or sex or climate or whatever, because, stuff like this, it's good to at least remind each other. Let us at least remind each other that we do things to each other. Let us never single out one specific group of people, because that could easily get into a othering state of mind. And again, whether it's locally or globally, it's not good. Okay, so when we just talk about because whatever it may be, even if it's like, let's concentrate on knowing that we for the most part get together and work together really peacefully and for the most part really good. But then there's there's shit asses everywhere in every group. So let's highlight that part, because otherwise it's so easy to get a narrative going and be like, oh, fill in the blank, all, groomer gangs. So these guys from that part of the world, all into grooming and all into gang rapes and all that. So it's easy to say stuff like that. Some of it might even exist. But that sort of thing, that gets me to think, like, at the end of the day, I'm like, shit, what if this is, like, again, a part of I don't want it to be true, of course, but I do like thinking about these things. I like to remain skeptical. I like to always be on my tippy toes. I like to think of where we're at and where we're going in the future. Because stuff like this, you never know. Human societies are very fragile. Could easily be, total chaos, which could be, again, it's manufactured helter skelter in the sense that you get people divided based on, again, religion, skin color, maybe even sex, gender, whatever else you want to throw in there that's, divisive. It's, what I'm trying to say is that, because it got me to think, I'm like, damn, what if that's, because you might even look into it for the groomer gangs, like if it's true, then not to say that it's not true, but it just got me to think otherwise, like, what I'm trying to say is I got to think, because that made me like, I'm like, if it were to break out into a helter skelter, like race war, global race war, or, ethnic war or religious war, got me to question a bunch of things. One, which group of people has done the most rapes in human history? Because got me to think. It's just because you guys might think that too. Some of you might have had that thought, because you might have heard about the grooming gang stories, and you're like, well, throughout history, who's done that? And I got to think. I wanted to look it up online, but I also didn't want to write that stuff up on. I just wanted to kind of like guess it for myself. But I'll leave it to the viewers. Who historically has raped, group-wise? Who's raped the most? If we were to categorize people, put it into blacks, whites, the yellows or Asiatics, browns, and other, like that could cover indigenous people of the world, reds, let's call them reds. So we got whites, blacks, yellows, browns, reds. It's hard to say, because like, it's hard to say who's got the most rapes historically, who's the best group of, which group of humans, if we were to, and it's, again, I believe we're all one, but again, when discussions like this lead to thoughts like this, which you think out there, who is the best at raping historically speaking? Because like right now you might be like, yes, right now we might have a grooming gang issue in parts of Europe. That might be the case. In other instances in history, have we had mass events of war and potential war leads to this? War is kind of like, it's rape adjacent. So, but specifically rape, there's, for the yellows, there's Genghis Khan. That guy, he spread his genes, and like that was so he put in some numbers, a lot of numbers. So that's, so I'm just saying, at least let's be accurate about certain things if we're gonna like really dig into it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, what if there's Genghis Khan for the yellows. There's, I don't know, and then there's India alone in terms of like just numbers wise, India and the rest of the, I guess, visibly brown, I guess, but those are just a large population. So then do you count like rape amongst a certain population within themselves or also outside. And I'm not saying that that's but I'm just saying I had questions. I'm like, who, if you were to look at, and then whites have killed a lot of people and raped and murdered a lot of people too. Again, and it's stuff like this that really gets the stats up there in terms of just people love this shit, is what I'm trying to say. I thought about it because I'm like, whites will kill fucking whites too. That's the thing with whites. You gotta give it to the whites, because World War II was essentially, it was like mainly it was whites against whites. So that was a lot of killing and murdering and rape. So there's that from all sorts of, which you can get into the nitty gritty. Which kind of white are we talking about? Like the whitest of the whites, we're talking about Anglo-Saxon, or like do Russians count as, it's, just broad strokes, generally speaking. But whites have killed a lot of whites as well. Blacks, they were involved in the slave trade as well. So, and then there's probably a lot of rape in there as well. So to conclude, and then there's the reds, the reds or the indigenous, and then we also saw them apparently collectively, and they were raping and killing one another too at one point. So the takeaway, what I was trying to say, I had to come up with this because I don't want a Helter Skelter world where people are like, oh, these groups of people are animals, and just, well, the takeaway is that we're all animals. The good news, bad news is this rape and murder and war. Bad news, collectively we do it together. But the good news, we collectively do it together, and the numbers get really squirrely. But who put up the most numbers? That's a question for you to ask. I have no idea who put up the most numbers, and frankly, I don't want to find out. I would say it's pretty much evened out throughout history. I would say it's even. You have spurts of different groups taking up the torch and running with it for a little while due to different reasons. But it's a little bit of like, you get, sometimes you get the Europeans that went into the East, conquered, did that whole story, blah, blah, blah. The deal. You did a little bit of raping, pillaging, and then you might have as repercussions Browns getting it. It's I'm not happy about any of it. I'm just saying the numbers. Let's not generalize and categorize, because that leads to, again, if that is where your head's at, beware of. I frankly think that'll lead to a Helter Skelter manufacturing in the future, unless we want Helter Skelter on a global basis so that we can come in and put in, again, more mass surveillance, more digital facial recognition, more digital IDs, more digital currency. Unless we want to do, then let's just do accelerationism. Let's go full-blown manufacturing Helter Skelter together. In which case, if a race war does occur, if it just hypothetically, I would never want this to happen, but hypothetically, some people might again to get in there and get in with some sort of like just giant globalized military lockdown or whatever. It leads me to think which group of people I'd like to join. It's kind of parallel to the question of which gang would you like to join if you were to go to prison. Being the person that I am, I would like to say I'll wait it out. I will wait it out. I want to go out with the winners. Let's just say that. I want to go, and I'm not putting any money down right now. But I want to go out with the winners. I'll say that. I think I've got a good idea of who, if it were to go down, I think I want to be amongst the people with the bunkers, the ones with the bunkers, the ones with the spaceships, the one with the AIs, and again, if it might not even be a race thing by then, it might just be a class of people. I'm just saying I want to be with that, within the, if it's going down, if it were to ever go down, and then you never know, it's good, probably not, it probably won't, hopefully not, hopefully we can learn and grow and evolve out of it. But again, should something similar yet different of the, you never know, it's good to be looking out for these things. Should it pop up, I will try to, I want to go out with the winners. If it happens to be, if it's the global, if I don't care about the skin color thing personally, but if you guys care, I don't care. I just want to say this. But if it happens to be black, I'll go out with the blacks. I'll get a tan, braid my hair. If it happens to be white, I'll shave my head, I'll slick it back. I'll stay out of the sun. I will stay out of the sun. If it happens to be the yellows, I will pick up I have no problem picking up chopsticks. I have no problem. I might not be doing it right, but I'll get the food inside my mouth face hole. Okay, I'll get the food. If it's the reds or the others, I'm not gonna, where am I putting my money? Not the tribes, and my heart does go out. Historically, it does go out. I'm just saying, will it be the Browns by sheer numbers? Will it be the, global South and who knows? I'm just saying, probably not. All right, no, it's just, I'm just saying, I want to go out with the bunkers, with the guys with the bunkers and the food farms and the food banks and the seed banks, whoever those guys are. You answer, whoever those guys are. I'll go out. I want to go out with those guys. I want to technically not go out, but if we're to just like the survivors, I want to be with the whatever. I want to see what happens. Yeah, I want to stick around. I want to stick around and see what happens. And again, I don't want a global Helter Skelter world either. So, pros and cons of all this. If we see crime, let's just take care of it. Let's take care of it. Remember, shitty people from all walks of life do shitty things, but for the most part, most people are wonderful from all walks of life, and they just mind their own business and go along. Unless we want to feed into these narratives, which if you want to do that accelerationist game, if you want to do that, push it forward a little bit quicker. Just let me know. Just let me know. Tip it off a little bit. Let me know what's up, and we'll push it forward together. But otherwise, it just made me think who's better in terms of putting up numbers. I believe it's quite even. I would think throughout history, I would think it's quite even, but we should get rid of all of it together. Hopefully that part of us, that warring, raping aspect of humanity, should eventually, hopefully it will just erode away to, probably will still exist until we're, completely merged with machinery, but even then it might take different forms. I just wanted to say, seeing all these news articles and headlines, let's not focus in on this group versus that group, and let's focus in on we're all good for the most part, and there's shits between us, and no one is above it or below it. So unless we want the Helter Skelter, which you let me know, I just want to be like, I don't want to look like, oh, he didn't know about the whole Helter Skelter. I want to just let me know. On to other fun activities and other stories around the world. I believe there was a woman in Costa Rica who she was out there at a food court or somewhere. She was sitting down or eating or minding her own business, and the next thing you know, a thief came in, a robber came in, tried to rob her or thieve her or the vicinity or something along those lines. An intruder came in, and this lady, all of a sudden, without having ever taken any jiu-jitsu classes, broke out into full-blown instinctive jiu-jitsu. Instinctive jiu-jitsu. She put this motherfucker in a little pretzel wrap and waited until help came along the way. And the takeaway from that story, my friends, is that it's good to know jiu-jitsu. Now, you could take the classes, you could go join the dojos, or simply let the instincts just take over. And I saw this video and it just reaffirmed what I firmly believe within myself. I'm like, I've never taken a class, but I watched a couple of videos of the UFCs. I like to believe when shit goes down, instincts will just kick in and jiu-jitsu right there, dude. Fucking drunken master jiu-jitsu, rectal, all of that shit. So the instincts can take over. You could potentially be doing stuff that you didn't even know you know, because you've been observing, taking it in like data being downloaded inside your little brain, your little noggin, your little coconut. Moral of the story is don't waste time on classes. When it happens, it happens. Honestly, just, fucking look. First of all, it was a female. Imagine what the guys can do if they just let their instincts just go. I know it's just one story. That's just anecdotal. Proof is in the video, dude. Watch the video. Or take a lot of classes. Or let the instincts kick in. I say for those of you who are, on the fence, I say go with the instincts. You'll be all right. It worked out for her. I'm sure it'll work out for everybody else out there as well. All right? Just the less you know. Speaking of carrots and sticks, if you want to incentivize people, I've been told that you got to show them the carrot and the stick. I've ordered some sticks, I've ordered some carrots. I don't know how to use them, to be honest with you. I'm gonna just kind of wield it in front of people's faces until people, cooperate and do things that I'd like to be doing with them as well. Whatever it is, dude, I don't care. I'll just show up with a stick, with a whole bunch of sticks, just, the little popsicle sticks. They said carrots and sticks, but they didn't actually say what kind of sticks. Could have been branches, but those tree branches I don't want to get splinters, that's one, and that's heavier too. So I'm just thinking, if it's sticks in general, I'm going to just show people popsicle sticks and hopefully get my way. Whatever it is, loan at the bank, mortgage, a couple of car loans, a little bit of jewelry, a little bit of bonus pay, whatever it may be. I'm just going to show them. And if that doesn't work, they say use the carrots. So I've also ordered the carrots. They're baby carrots, which I found out there is none. But these alleged baby carrots, I'm gonna use a baby carrot. At least they're cuter. They're cuter than the big, the overgrown carrots. This could be a little bit too phallic for my taste. And I'm just gonna present it to be just hold a bag of baby carrots to be like, which ones do you like, homie? You want these popsicle sticks, or you want these baby carrots, dog? Nah, if shit fucking comes to it, I don't want to go there, but if need be, I will go to the sticks and carrots. I'm gonna just leave these baby carrots on your table and just take a few steps back. And you take your time deciding what you'd like to do. I got fucking baby carrots. I can order baby carrots all day. My resources are not unlimited, but when it comes to baby carrots and popsicle sticks, and if you're not a carrot guy, I get it. And that's why we got the options of the sticks, all right? You want to stack these little popsicle sticks on top of one another until you make your decision? You want to just kind of low-key put a couple of, just two of them stick them in your teeth and like upper gum and just like be a walrus? You want to play a little walrus game? You want to do the carrots and sticks? So I've heard it works. I'm going to be trying it. I'm getting them soon. They're coming in. I got them. They're coming in soon. I've heard it works. And that's carrots and sticks. And I recommend you use them too, because it's not like a thing where you can't be like, oh, I don't have access to carrots and sticks. Literally all around, I see people walking around with, if you're in construction, I see a ton of guys, you got the sticks right there. I see a whole lot of farmers out there, whether it's independent farmers or, little farmers markets. You can even go to pick up a couple of carrots. I know I'm a baby carrot kind of guy. That's my liking. If you want to go with full grown, huge, wheel a couple of giant carrots and demand whatever it is you're demanding. Apparently it works. It's carrots and sticks. They said it works. I listen. And I'm going to utilize it to the best of my ability. That's just me. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let me get a sip of this bad boy. Charlie Sheen is coming out with a new movie or a new documentary today. I believe it drops today, and I'm excited to watch it either today or I'm going to get to it on the weekend, which I'm happy to watch. I like Charlie Sheen growing up, and I did watch a brief interview with him recently, and it was nice. Kind of gave us a glimpse into what we're going to be expecting. It's just a whole, he's gone through a lot. He's lived a rock star life. Seems like a fun guy. Seems like a good guy. Good guy. And he just dropped it in that might be gay, probably gay too, right? And that was, I think I knew this before, but it just, you know a lot of things, these things skip your mind, and then you get reminded, because it's not like a over the top like gay. He's probably like just like, straight, and then like he'll mix it, and he's at least bi. Because he was having an interview where they were talking for a few seconds, and then I thought I heard something along the lines of, and then I'll try the other side of menu, and then I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, I think he just kind of hinted towards doing gay stuff, which is completely cool. It's 2025. Of course it's cool. But it's just like you forget, and then you're reminded, or maybe you didn't even know, and so there you go. There's a new documentary. It's about Charlie Sheen and his life, his trials and tribulations, his career, when I was younger, I had heard other rumors, which were, again, I don't know, alleged things that went, I don't know what happened to Corey Haim. I don't know. I don't care. He's dead. I rest in peace, of course. But as you grow, as you get more mature, you learn that stories need to be actually backed up by evidence. So as far as I'm concerned, Charlie's a good time. and I don't know how would I know? I'm nowhere near the inside. I'm nowhere near the inside. There are people who are way closer and way more inside. I'm so outside. I'm outside. I'm so outside. So that's where I am. I don't know. So the thing is, maturity, giving people the benefit of the doubt, giving more of a charitable perspective on life and in general just people, and leading with that, I say, don't know what happened between certain people when they were making movies. What I do know now, gay stuff happened with Charlie and other, because that's what it makes sense. It makes sense, not for everyone, of course, but once you live that life of full-blown access, lots of money, lots of sex, at one point, that probably is legit not even gay, dude. That's probably not even gay. He probably went so straight. He probably got so much puss that he's just like, all right, I mean, just toss it in. At that point, it's just like, what else is there? Probably. So I'm gonna check out the documentary because I like Charlie Sheen, and he's made so many movies which I grew up watching. And yeah, I want him to be, fucking living a good life, dude. So shout out to Charlie Sheen. Yeah, if I give the benefit of the doubt to Michael Jackson, then I'll give the benefit until otherwise. Until you're trying to take down a beautiful black man who did nothing wrong. If I'm not in the room, maturity, grow. If I'm not there, how would I know? Okay? The music fucking speaks for itself. Bang, to this day, the best. Simply, no one else even comes close. I'll say this, Michael Jackson's music is so good, I wouldn't even care if all the other music, if I had to just pick one person's music to ever listen to for the rest of my life, it would be Michael Jackson's music. That's it. So that's how good it is. We're burning everything else, keeping Michael Jackson. So again, if I'm not there, I don't know. Rumors can, of course, pick up wind and whatnot. But the point is, gay stuff goes down. I wonder how much more of this happens in Hollywood. Not just in Hollywood, for people who have a lot of access, if you just go through 2 tons of puss. After that, you might be like fucking tossing a gram of tank, whatevs. Putting it out there, I'm gonna watch it. And yeah, man, I'm just glad to see people doing well. It's good times for everybody. And here we are. Let me get a sip of this bad boy. They say horses are the therapist amongst animals, or the psychologists of animals. I don't know how this has come to be, because horses, as far as I'm concerned, are still illiterate and are not able to speak English and or any other human language. So how they've become the animal psychologist is a little bit sus to me, but if it works, it works. I'd just like to know where they got the credits or the doctorates, or where they go to school. How do they start their practices? You know what I mean? It's just a little, because and I'll say this, they say that the horse is the psychologist of animals, but I've rarely ever seen horses intermingle with any other animal. There's the odd, cute video of the horse with the squirrel, and look at them, they're best friends. It's a horse and a squirrel. How could this even happen? Because you'd never think a giant animal and a small animal would get along, but look at this video, it shows you otherwise. Animals love each other, and you're like, oh my God. That squirrel is just telling that horse about his marital issues. That's so cute and heartfelt and wholesome. It's nice, but that's just one instance. I've never seen it in the wild. I've only seen horses by themselves. I've never seen them go into a building, wear a suit, get a nice fancy couch, one for themselves and one for the patient to lie down and tell about their traumatic life experiences, or just life experiences, just bounce off ideas off somebody. So although this saying is true, I'm not completely buying it. But on the other hand, at the same rate, if you indulge that it is true, and you go and tell your issues, problems, traumas, just life, whatever, to a horse, you just speak. At least you'll know that they'll keep it to themselves. That's a good thing. That's the good thing, and you might get cured, which is nice. So, horse psychologists versus human psychologists. I'll go with the horse. I will go with the horse. Not that I would ever, but just if should for anybody, if you ever talk to a horse, ride it. And that's the thing too. You can't even ride psychologists these days. And that sucks. You can ride the horse and get somebody to look into your psyche a little bit. So boom, there you go. More bang for your buck right there, ladies and gentlemen. There is now more AI and more technology emerging every day and taking over little bits and pieces of our lives and jobs. I believe I heard that AI is now getting into the tattoo industry and tattooing people, AI tattoos, and also massages are being provided by robots. These are all realms that people had taken and used to make a living out of, but now it's, you know, it's not completely taken over, but you do see the starts. AI tattoos, robot masseurs or masseusists, misogynists, robot misogynists, massages, robots giving massages, masseurs, misogynists, misogynist robots giving you know what it is. Pros and cons of this. It's just the beginning. I don't think that right now we've got anything to worry about. 2, 5, 10 years from now, there might not be any tattoo artists left because you could probably pretty much get a little printer at home and tattoo your tattoo on yourself, whatever you want, get it, print it, put it on your sleeve, get it etched on your skin. Of course, you're losing that human touch, that human interaction where you sit down and tell your story and the tattoo artist has to listen to your story. Sometimes it's a good story, sometimes it's like, okay, I don't care. But otherwise, you're missing that, and then there's the whole touch factor. There's no human touching you. A lot of people like being touched by people. Some people don't. If you don't, then opt for the AI tattoos. As for the massages, human versus robot massage, I would say that the robot massage probably can get in there, work the knots, can even probably offer a happy ending as well, just like a human misogynist, just like a human misogynist can. But the downside of that is that you don't get to both these scenarios, really, the human versus the machine. The ultimate downside is that human interaction, and if you can't come on another human's face, or they can't sit on your face and kind of rub their genitals all over your face whilst tattooing and or misogynisting you, misogynistically interacting, there you go, misogynistically interacting with you. If you can't jizz and they can't female ejaculate all over you, then that's not a world which I want to live in, which is why I will continue to support my tattoo artists and my misogynists. And whatever, if you want to be like, no, I'll opt for it's not going to replace my misogynist or my tattoo artists. It'll just be a supplement. It starts with a supplement, dude. Next thing you know, you're just getting a cold robotic finger up your rectum, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same. All right. Banksy just had a painting up on the Royal Court of London, if I'm not mistaken. Banksy, the famous unknown artist of our time. He puts up images or paintings, spray paintings, and he leaves without a trace. Who is Banksy? But he put up a painting or an image on the Royal Court of London, and authorities have said that they want to take it down because it's on the Royal Court building. It's too government. If it is too official, it's too government. That building is too official, it's too government. The images of a judge gaveling down on a client, on a plaintiff, on a person who's it's person versus judge, and the judge is going like fucking gavel city to the face of the human client, defendant. Person in court person who may have appeared in a court. And they want to take that down or whatever. I don't really, I like art. I like paintings. This one, it's a government official building, which I get it sort of, kind of, but like low-key, it's a good, whatever. All the other ones are up. You might be able to leave this one up as well. Or take it down, whatever I don't know, it's too official. The building is too official. But it just got me to think, I'm like, man, who is this guy? Still, Banksy, nobody knows, right? Shows up unannounced, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, right there, spray painted something, some image that's like, oh, the kid with balloon or whatever the other one. So he's got a lot of them throughout the years. Just gets me to think, in this day and age, how does somebody go undiscovered? How does somebody go, because it's so difficult. I believe in New Zealand, they just caught a guy who was missing for like 4 years with his 3 kids. And he got eventually caught, and they actually shot him in New Zealand. I forget, it's Tom Phillips, I believe. They caught him. Fugitive father of 3. Shot and killed. Because he was on the run. Yes, that's the thing. These are the end times of being able to like run and hide, man. He can't even, and that's the thing. Talk about, I don't know what his deal was, but the ability to get away is no longer, okay, it's not there. It's just not. It's mass surveillance is what we live in. It's what we'll get more of, and it's just it's a romantic idea of the past. For whatever reason, if you had to it's something to be like, oh, I'm gonna whatever, fucking get away. And you can't do that. You can't do this guy. So I don't know how this beautiful artist is remained to be unknown till this day. I guess some people still do remain unknown, but down the line, it's gonna be extremely difficult. It's gonna be, as we go further down the line, it's gonna be extremely difficult. How does he interact with his friends or family? Does he have a relationship? Is it multiple people? Is it one person? If it's one person, it'd be, how do you have all those cans of paint and you're like going missing at like 2, 3 a.m.? You're an older adult by now. It's just odd. He's hanging around with his girlfriend with a can with a bunch of, and he doesn't even like reveal to her that he's a painter or he's a, street artist or a, graffiti artist, graffiti painter artist, imagist. He's an imagist. He's an imagist. He's an imagist. Cans of paint, and he's just like, it's fucking 3:37 in the morning. I'm just gonna head out for a second. I'll be back in a couple of hours. And his girlfriend's all like, what are you doing, Tom, or whatever, John? What are you doing with those cans of paint at 3:37 in the morning? And he's all like, nothing. What, these cans of paints? What are these spray paints in my bag? I'm gonna get rid of these. I found these. And what's with all the questions of, can a man just walk out at 3:37 in the morning with a couple of neon pylons, a little construction jacket, a little flashlight, and a couple of cans of spray paint without getting hounded? God, bitch! Slams the door, walks out, comes back a couple hours later, got paint all over himself. What happened? What happened, Tom? Got rid of the sprays. Got rid of spray paints. What do you mean? What happened? What happened with you? Where were you? And she's just like, I've been at home. Where were you? I don't know. I imagine his life is, or if it's a group of people, I wonder if it's just a group of people. So you tackle different areas. Oh, mysteries. Get hit in the head. Discover the mysteries of life with an anvil to the head. Find out who Banksy is with a heavy object hitting your temple. Find out today. Oh. Dynamite dog of Peruvian dynamite dog. Dynamite dog of Peru. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A journalist and his family were sleeping in their Peruvian home. After midnight, an intruder came and dropped a stick of dynamite in their home and then ran off. And the dog smelt it. He smelt it. He ran down the stairs and he chewed up the dynamite, and nobody blew up and nobody died. And the dog saved the man, the journalist, and his family's land. Your fucking dogs are so cute and they're so great. I didn't know to do that. Oh, dynamite though. That's so fucking, that's some Roadrunner shit, dude. Who drops dynamite sticks? That is. But also fucking hero dog, all right? So there's different places. Animals are always nice. And there's different places and different ways of dealing with intruders, home invasions. Should you be, different places. America, you guys are lucky because you get the guns. I wish we had that in Canada. I wish it was just more accessible to get guns for, I've not even looked into it that much, to be honest, but I wouldn't want to, not here anyway, but like if you're out somewhere, be nice to just fucking, you know, open carry, or I don't even know the difference. Concealed carry. Put concealer on your, you know, put makeup on your gun. Get concealed. He's a concealed carrier. He likes to put rouge on his gun. He's a concealed carrier. They'll say that, and people respect him for that. A little bit of pancake to the gun. A little bit of eyeliner to the gun. Oh, he's a concealed carrier, or he's an open carrier. He's never closed, but he's always open and he's carrying, or whatever that. So I don't know these things, but different places, again, deal with it differently. And in the US, if you get an intruder, you'd fucking right there in the guts. And that's nice to know that you have that ability. In Peru, I'm not quite sure how it works. You get the loyal dog in Peru. In Canada, as of late, it's a different story. I believe we have just got I'm not sure who it was, somebody in the police. And I love the police. I love the police as I've gotten a little bit older, a little bit more mature. Not that mature, but still slightly more from what I used to, but still. I believe, I'm not sure if it was the police chief or just a regular ambassador of the police, but he came and said, if there's an intrusion, if there's an intruder in your house in Canada, simply comply. And that's another different way of dealing with it, okay? And this goes to show how friendly we are as Canadians. If you break into somebody's home, as a Canadian, we will open our doors to you with open arms. We will comply, we will lie down, and we will take it, because that's the Canadian way to do things. Somebody breaks in and wants to hurt you and your family members, you simply, what do? Canada, you comply, you lie down and you comply. Let's say they wanna hit you in the head with a bat, shoot you in the knees, and cut your Achilles, so you tip over like a dumb tree that's been cut. Okay, you just timber, you fucking fall and hit your head. Let's say they want to climb on top, they want to tie your family up, they want to climb on top of you and do rapage on you. What do, Canada? You comply, you let them, because it's rude otherwise. Some people say intruders, we say unexpected guests. And what did the book say about the guests? Something along the line, the more the merrier, I think. I'm not even sure if that was in the book. That one book, the good book. I still haven't read it. I gotta get to it one day, but something about the more the merrier. So we say intruder, unannounced, unexpected guest. And yeah, they will ride you and rape you, and they can beat you and take off with whatever they want to take off. Maybe they just want to humiliate you in front of your family, and it doesn't always have to be about materialistic goods. Oh, what do they get away with? It could just be, you're like, what about the wife and the kids? If they come in and they want to rape the wife and the kids too, they should be allowed to. So everybody deals with it differently. Okay, so remember, if you're in the US, you get to shoot them. If you're in Peru, you get dynamite dog. If you're in Canada, you bend over, okay? You bend over and you be a nice host and provide the lube for them, not for you, because we know you don't care, but they would like easy access, so please use lube. Until next time, peace out, get out of here.